Welcome to Talk Theory. It's your host, Kiara Barnes, where I talk all things life, what makes us human, and what makes us superhuman. Sit back, relax, and join me for a chat. Hello, welcome back, you guys, to another episode of Talk Theory. How is everyone doing? How's it going, folks? We're officially closing out January and entering into February, which is pretty crazy. That went by quick. Went by pretty quick. Time flies when you're having fun, I suppose. Which brings us into today's topic. That's right, people. We're getting straight into it again. Time. You know, time. How to deal with it, how to work with it, how to accept it. Because here's the thing. It's always going forever on a loop. And sometimes, you know, we can get pretty stressed out about it when it comes to deadlines and due dates, or it can be something, you know, we used to look forward to doing something or completing something. And to be honest, I'm feeling this right now. I was not expecting to have so much going on this week, but I'm very grateful. It's all very good, but now I definitely find myself moving around things and trying to adjust and utilize my time the best way without getting overwhelmed. And if I'm being honest, taking some stock, you know, I don't know. I've actually done pretty good, all things considered, with just kind of going with the flow the best I can. But still, you know, ever so often throughout the day, I've had to definitely pause and give myself some deep breaths, assuring myself that I will complete the things I need to complete. All is well, you know, there's nothing to worry about. And I definitely find that the self-soothing approach with time in general helps a ton. You know, I am definitely a more schedule it in kind of person. I do like to mix it up every once in a while with other things, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, I do like to have some kind of rough beat of what's going on for the week and any tasks or things that I need to do. Specifically when it comes to my work, okay? And especially with auditioning. Standard, you can get anywhere from like 4 to 8 pages that you need to be off book for. I mean, technically now with this new SAG rules and regulations, you don't technically have to be off book, but it's always better, you know? And you got to be ready to do this audition within like a day or maybe 2. And so the more heads up I have, the better I can schedule my time for research and rehearsal. That way on the day of the audition, I'm not having to do all that much work and thinking, right? Because I've already done all of the studying. So I get to just have fun and explore, which is like the best. But sometimes there are days like, what I'm having this week where I'll get 8 pages and basically need to put on tape as soon as possible. Not a lot of time to prep because I have other things going on, you know, in my life at the same time. So I just have to reset, move around things, or itemize my time in a way that is a little different, but still trying to be the most beneficial. But let me just say, getting this straight, okay, sitting around and freaking out about how much time you don't have is not going to give you any more time. It's just not. That's something I used to do a lot, and I still find myself doing it a little bit, you know. I used to spend, though, a lot more energy just talking about how upset I was for not having enough time to do things, that I would just end up not doing anything really and end up tuckering myself out even more, resulting in being stressed out of my mind and then just feeling absolutely exhausted. That whatever I'm doing isn't done properly, or I'm not happy about it, or I'm just in a bad mood because I was in a bad mood to start with, like it's a cycle. But one thing I did learn for me personally is I do so much better with rest. If I'm feeling tired or sleepy and I know I have stuff to do, I will give myself 10 to 20 minutes to take a nap. Like, honestly, I'll probably do that today. If I'm not tired, I'll give myself 10 minutes to meditate or however long feels right. And the reason really for this, okay, back in the day when I was on the soap for Bold and Beautiful, some of you folks know, but if you don't, I was. And a little into my time there, I was able to start auditioning, which was great, for pilot season. And this is after I was able to obtain a team that I felt really, really good about and could work with. And pilot season is essentially when all the new shows come out for us actors to audition. And the hope is we book it, okay? And the pilot tests well enough that you get a full order for a season and you get to go back to work with everyone else, the crew, everyone that you worked with. That's the scenario everyone wants with their pilot. The thing, though, about pilot season, which now there really isn't a proper season anymore. There's like streamers now, which has kind of changed timelines for things. Nonetheless, there is a lot of auditions coming at you at once. And, of course, you want to go out for as much as possible so that you can book something. So I was working these crazy hours at the soap doing like 4 to 6 episodes in a day, going into the studio before the sun was up and leaving when the sun was down, and then coming home, taking off all the hair and the makeup from the workday, because everyone knows on a soap, they got some makeup, okay, on ya. Putting on new hair, makeup for whatever it was that I was auditioning for, studying those lines in between at work, all the while trying to memorize the 50-something pages I had to do at work like the next day or even for whatever that day, right? It was a lot. And so when I would get home, I'm just having caffeine to stay up. I'm denying myself of a nap. I'm pushing through and I am exhausted. And what would happen is during these tapes, I'd be messing up on stuff like I knew, but just couldn't get it out. Because of course my brain is short circuiting essentially because I don't have enough energy. And I would just keep going. And it was really my boyfriend at the time who was like, okay, Kiara, you need to chill. Like, go meditate for a second. Do your breathing exercises, whatever. And I would just like, that would like kind of like frustrate me. I'd be like, no, like I can do this. And like, you don't get it. I just need to get through it. And he's like, okay, no, you need to chill. You need to sit. I'm not going to read this with you until you do. Because at this point, it really was just an act of frustration. So finally, I was like, fine. And I gave in, went and had my little mini break. And wouldn't you know, when I came back, I got a tape done in like 1 or 2 takes. And that's exactly what would happen each time. So I definitely learned during that time, because that was a crazy, crazy, crazy time. Um, when you need a break, and especially when your body is telling you it needs a break, take the break. I know that, especially for actors, when you're working, you're on set, that's like not always feasible. Like, oh, hey guys, do you mind if we pause this setup? I know we're trying to make a day, but uh I think I need a break. They're like, congratulations. So does the rest of us. So I totally get it. I've definitely been on those sets where my eyes like twitching. I'm so tired. And, we're on hour 13 and I'm trying to just like get a little bit of rest in between a take. I totally, totally get it. So, if it is feasible, definitely take a break. Even if it's 5 minutes of laying on the ground, okay, or doing a breathing exercise. 10 minutes shutting your eyes. The littlest bit does help the body and can also just help it self-regulate any feelings of alarm, anxiety, stress, whatever's happening. The next thing, okay, I had to get comfortable with, and it can definitely be a challenge, especially if you're someone like me who likes to have an idea of what's going on, to have some kind of plan going. I think we all like a little plan, nothing wrong with that. But being okay with whatever end result will be. Knowing that, look, you prep to the best of your capability, but life happens. As much as I wish I could have a little "That's So Raven" moment, okay? And predict the future, I cannot. Yeah, I can't. So the best that I can do is work off what I do know, and what I do have right now. Otherwise, all the rest of that stuff is a waste of energy. Just like where I was talking about previously, me huffing and puffing about not getting the take I want because I kept stressing myself out, instead of just walking away for a moment and coming back after I hit the refresh button. And that is sometimes all it takes, is a little reset, refresh moment. But either way, learning not to be so hard on ourselves, of everything needing to be exactly the way we planned and for it to all be perfect, because as we all know, it never works that way anyhow. Now, of course, are there things that we can do to prep to make sure that we are ready for the unexpected in the best way that we can be, right? Sure. Getting a good sleeping schedule has been really actually helpful, because I find if I can wake up a little earlier to start my day off and not feel rushed in the morning, I'm in a much, much better mood throughout the day. And I'm just able to delegate my day in a way where I can get any of the things I need to get done. Anything that pops up, I at least can have a bit of wiggle room to adjust things as needed. Also, with this too, with sleep, I feel like I do better because I can tend to wake up in the middle of the night and then my thoughts will just be going, especially if I know the next day I have things to do and a busy schedule. I'll just like start running them in my mind and it drives me nuts. So honestly, my favorite combination is, if I'm really like, even if meditation isn't getting me there to like relax, I'll put on brown noise headphones in and like a sleep mask, something to cover my eyes so I'm not seeing any light peek through. I've been doing that recently and that helps so much. Brown noise just like cancels out all of your thoughts and I can't like think of anything else. And so I love that. And it's not as harsh as like a white noise or something like that. So yes, try that. Okay, but back to what I was saying. I will admit that I'm not totally perfect at designating time. Okay, I don't always do this to the best of my capability. I could probably set time in the schedule to get a few things done before they're meant to be done. That would help me a lot. But I'm human, okay? Sometimes I just want to sit and watch some Bob's Burgers, honestly. And sometimes I want to mindlessly scroll TikTok and just give my working brain a break, which I think is actually beneficial at times. Give the body and mind time to just chill. But I definitely do have to be mindful of how much time I'm giving, because one episode of Bob's Burgers can turn into 3, or 15 minutes of scrolling can be like an hour or 2 or 3. So I do set timers when I'm really hankering down. That way I can stick with a schedule. And I feel like time can be feared, right? Or appreciated. And I much rather appreciate it, utilize it as a tool. And also, this is just a reminder, like, slow down. It's all going to be fine. I feel like the moment we just relax a little bit about time, the less power it has to dominate our mind with all that fear. Because I think it's easy to give your life away to that kind of mindset of, oh, I don't have enough time, I'm doing X, Y, Z. And then the next thing you know, your life has passed you by and you didn't really get to enjoy it because you were so just wrapped up in getting things done, just getting things done, than actually enjoying where you are, what's happening, your life, you as a person, all that. Like, dude, it's crazy. Like, I'll look back at pictures and be like, oh my gosh, that was like 5 years ago, huh? And I've just been so much more in the past like month or two. If you guys been following along, I've been doing this wellness journey, and I've just been so much more here, like planted on earth, and very much aware of this time is borrowed, and trying to appreciate that as much as possible, and understanding that, like, yeah, we're living a human experience. We're still going to have these human thoughts, and the society that we've been taught and grown up in is very time oriented about work, work, work. But, at the end of the day, when we finish our time here, we're not leaving with our job, right? Like, when I say that, I mean, so trying to enjoy things outside of work or tasks and things. And even if it's just like an appreciation for having a bed, having appreciation for having a phone, just these little moments of gratitude that can lock you into the present, that helps you just release any of that old anxiety, So yeah, folks, life happens. That's what's supposed to happen. Life is supposed to happen. Things are supposed to pop up unplanned, and we're supposed to experience, grow, and become. So just try and enjoy it for that, rather than trying to micromanage every little last step. It gets exhausting. I definitely know. I'm still working on it, but the good thing is we're doing it. Definitely speaking for myself right now, but it resonates because it's the truth. Okay, as we come to a close here, the theory of the week is: the beauty of the walk of life is not knowing what's to come along your path. So smell the roses and observe the trees. Might as well while you're here. Whoa! Okay, one more time. The beauty of walk of life is not knowing what's to come along your path. So smell the roses and observe the trees. Might as well while you're here. Boom. Okay, that was better. Take 2. Thanks again for listening to another episode of Talk Theory. I love you guys very much. If you want more episodes like this, you can scroll on down. We got, a ton, over like 50, 60 maybe, who knows, a lot. So feel free to share this episode with anyone, really. Have a great rest of your week, and I shall see you next week. Okay, love you. Bye.